Welcome to Shom Machshava on the Daf, Shir sponsor Nishmas, I'm Yaakov Shalom, Leah Bas Yitzchok. We're holding Bo Basra Tav Piches. In this Daf, we have something very special because this Daf is learned in Shabbos Parshas Bechukosai, and the Gemara speaks about the Parsha in this Daf, the Daf of today. So the end of the Daf Piches was based, the Gemara explains the difference between Parshas Bechukosai and Parshas Kisavai. The Gemara says that Parshas Bechukosai, Kadosh Baruch Hu gave brachas that start with the letter Aleph and end with the letter Tov, that is the 22 letters from Aleph to Tov, and gave Kelalaos curses that start with the letter Vav and end with the letter Mem, that's 8 letters. So the brachas are 22 letters and the Kelalaos are 8 letters. While Moshe Rabbeinu in Parshas Kisavai did the opposite. He started with the letter Vav, Yivarem Shemoya, until La'oivdim, that's the brachas, 8 letters, and the Kelalaos start with Vav and end with Hey, from Vehoya until Ein Koine, that's full 22 letters. So first, just to understand the push-up shower, what does the Gemara mean? Why is 22 and 8? So a little bit of understanding, the Maharal explains, and it's a similar derech we find in the Maharshal. The Maharal says like this: whenever you have a mitzius shlema, you have 22, because the world is created with the 22 letters. So the mitzius is represented with 22 letters. 8 letters is a representation of the connection of this world to the world above. We know Bris Milah is in 8 days. So that's it's basically the connection above and the bottom. In Shamayim we have bracha. All the shefa comes from Shamayim. All the klala, all the bad, all the terrible tragedies, all the chitzonim is down here in this world. So you may like this: HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when He gives the bracha and klala, the bracha is the ikar mitzius kivecha, where the words of HaKadosh Baruch Hu come from Shamayim. Shamayim, that's the brachas. That's what the brachas are, 22 letters. The Kelalaos is what he's supposed to, when Am Yisrael doesn't do the right thing, there is not so much shava from above, which causes that the connection between above and below is not the perfect connection, allows Kelalaos, that's 8 letters. The connection of Shamayim and Aretz, that's what's being poigim. But Moshe Rabbeinu, it's the opposite. He lives down here in this world. And this world is Mokah Klala. So Kelalaos is 22 letters because that's the mitzias of this world. Bracha, on the other hand, is when you connect this world to the world above in the proper way. So that's why bracha is 8 letters. So 22 is where you are, 8 is the connection. When it comes from Shamayim, the 22 is the bracha, the 8 is the klala. When you're down here in the world, the 22 is the klala, the 8 is the bracha. That is the beer of the Marsha over here. But a big tema that we have in this Gemara is that comes out from the Gemara, the Parshas Kisavai is worse than Parshas Bechukosai. The clause Bechukosai is only 8 letters. The clause of Kisavai is 22, is much worse. The Chasam Sofer adds over here, the Bechukosai is connected by his rishon. That's why the clause are not so bad, they're much shorter, because the Galus is short. But the clause of Parshas Kisavai, that's connected by his sheni, so that's 22 letters, is much worse. The problem is that the Gemara in the end of Maseches Megillah, Daf Lamed Aleph on Beis, says clearly the opposite. The Gemara says that in Parshas Bechukosai, you're not allowed to stop in the middle of the clause another aliyah, because you can't stop in the middle of a klala. But Parshas Kisavai, you could stop. Says the Gemara, why Parshas Kisavai you could stop? Because Parshas Kisavai is much more lenient than Bechukosai. Why? Says the Gemara, 2 reasons. Bechukosai is HaKadosh Baruch Hu speaking, and it's Beloshon Rabim, it's plural tense. And Parshas Kisavai is Moshe Rabbeinu speaking, and it's a singular tense. And we brought the Vilna Gaon and the other shir on this daf to explain what the singular tense mean. But Al Kaponim, you find that the Parshas Kisavai is considered to be more lenient Bechukosai. This seems to be a direct contradiction to our Gemara. How do we explain this? So Reb Tzadok HaKohen and the Pri Tzaddik in this week's Parsha says Dover Nifla Moed, and it's really based almost on a Chazal Meferish on this Parsha, the Zohar Chodesh of Parshas Kisavai. So the Zohar Chodesh brings, first of all, what the Chasam Sofer says is brought down there in the Zohar. The Bechukosai is connected by his rishon, and therefore it's shorter, and Kisavai is connected by Sheni, and therefore it's longer. But says the Chazal over there in Sefer HaZohar, the Eliyahu Navi came and explained to the Rabbanim that yes, Parshas Kisavai has terrible klolos, much longer. But every one of these klolos has bracha embedded in it. Every one of the klolos has a little hidden bracha in it. And the Chazal there bring a few examples. One of the examples is that in the end, the last klolo, what is the last klolo? That you're going to be sold as slave, ve'en koine. Explain Chazal, what does it mean? Am Yisrael will think that everybody's going to buy them as slaves. But really ain't koine. Nobody's going to buy them as slaves. Nobody's going to sell them as slaves. They will not be slaves. And so on and so forth. The entire parsha is all klala, which is hidden bracha in it. This is the Pashup Shat. What's the reason? That in Parshas Bechukosai you have Nechama. It says there for Zachar, there's BC Yaakov, Parshas BC Tzilch, Parshas BC Avraham Eskor. There's a Nechama, I'm going to remember you. Parshas Bechukosai, there's no Nechama. What's Shat? Because Bechukosai is Klala, with no bracha in it. So you have one pasuk that tell you, don't worry, it's not going to be so bad. But Parshas Savo is Klala that has in it bracha. Everything has bracha in it. I don't have to have another Nechama. And Rabbi Tzadok goes on to explain it a little bit more. He says like this: every time that you have something coming from above, it comes as din. It comes as judgment. It comes in a very strict way. But once it needs to be implemented here down in this world, then it's adjusted to fit human beings. The classic example is, the Kishbuch want to create the world with din. So down here in the world, it becomes rachamim. We find a similar thing regarding Matan Torah. That's I heard Ramesh Shapir said in the name of the Rashash, Roshon Sharabi, that the Torah, when the Torah is given, it says Anoichiv lo yelecha mipi hagevura shemano. Torah is given bigvura. But when it comes down to the world, how does the Gemara call the Torah? Rachmana o martiku. Rachmana, it calls Roshon Rachamim. The idea, the concept, the theory is din, is strict. But when it comes down to the world, human beings have to act with it, then it becomes more lenient. Tzadok explained that's really the whole idea of difference between Torah Shebechtav and Torah Sheba'al-Peh. Torah Shebechtav is strict. There's words. It says ayin tachas ayin. Someone thinks eye, it's eye for an eye. Torah Sheba'al-Peh connects it to human beings. It's not an eye, it's money. It's how human beings will act with it. Add Rabbi Tzadok that this is really the chiluk between the first 4 chumashim and the 5th chumash. Kayadua, the first 4 chumashim in comparison to Chumash Dvarim is ke'ein Torah Shebechtav or Torah Sheba'al-Peh. Because the first 4 chumashim, Kishbuch was talking. The Chumash Dvarim is Moshe Rabbeinu talking. Kayadua, the Vilna Goyen, the Maggid Medubin says the name of the Vilna Goyen, that the first 4 chumashim is Shchinim Edabez V'toch Goyenoi. And the 5th chumash is Moshe Rabbeinu like any other Navi. Meaning it's his words. So Zog Rabbi Tzadok like this: when the Teichecha comes to Parshas Bechukosai, Kishbuch was talking, that's Torah Shebechtav, that comes Kedin. It looks like the worst thing ever. When it comes to Parshas Kisavoi, then it's already Moshe Rabbeinu talking. It's Torah Sheba'al-Peh. It's how it comes down to the world. So embedded in it is bracha. So according to this, we can understand very well. Parshas Kisavoi is much worse klalos. It's very long. It has no bracha in it. It's like, it looks very bad. But embedded in it, hidden in it, is a nechama. So that's why our Gemara is talking how it's written. It's written much worse. It's 22 letters. But the Gemara in Megillah is talking about someone who's oilil l'Torah. Can he stop in the middle? So he's saying this is not really klalos, embedded in his bracha. So if you stop in the middle, you're not stopping in the middle of a klala, which is a zoy klala. The oilil l'Torah can stop in it because we know what it really means. But the way it's written is at 22 letters. Kach yesh nirish yesh liyashev. These 2 Gemaras together, and there's more to be me'ayin in it. Anyone who wants to join the Shomachshava email list to WhatsApp, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.